Hello, we are Team 12 and we are going to present StarGAN 2 paper and its improved version. There are several things that we're going to cover today, but we start with introduction. In this paper, we are facing image-to-image translation task, and it aims to learn a mapping between different visual domains or categories. For example, female, male, cat, dogs, fruits, etc. For example, we can set image domains based on the gender of a person, in which case the style will include the beard, the makeup, and the hairstyle. Ideal image-to-image translation methods should be able to synthesize images considering diverse styles in each domain. However, designing and learning such models gets complicated as there can be a large number of styles and domains in the dataset. To get the best of both worlds, we use StarGAN 2 to achieve the diversity in images over multiple domains. The generative adversarial network is the base for replication paper and both comparison papers, and the main focus for GANs is to generate data from scratch. It consists of two deep networks, the generator and the discriminator. Intuitively, the discriminator provides guidance to the generator on what images to create, and by training with real and generated images, GANs build a discriminator that learns what features make images real. Then the same discriminator will provide feedback to the generator to improve its performance. One of our comparison papers is StarGAN, and its approach is the early version of StarGAN 2. Its main achievement is that it's able to perform image-to-image translation for multiple domains using only a single model. As you can see on the left, to handle multiple domains, cross-domain models should be built for every pair of image domains. StarGAN, on the other hand, is capable of learning mappings amongst multiple domains using only one generator. An overview of the StarGAN consists of two modules. Firstly, generator G takes in as input both the image and target domain label and generates a fake image. Then G tries to reconstruct the original image from the fake image given the original category label. Here, discriminator D not only identifies whether an image is fake or not, but it also predicts the domain of an image. Ultimately, G tries to generate images that cannot be distinguished from real ones, corresponding to the provided target domain. And finally, we get to StarGAN 2. It is able to solve two main problems in the image-to-image translation task simultaneously. That is, a diversity of generated images and scalability over multiple domains. In particular, we start from StarGAN and just replace its domain label with a proposed domain-specific style code that contains diverse styles of a specific category of images. As you can see, there are two new modules introduced, that is a mapping network and a style encoder. The mapping network learns to transform random Gaussian noise into a style code, while the encoder learns to extract the style code from a given reference image. Also notice that all modules except the generator contain multiple output branches, one of which is selected when training the corresponding domain. So by using this approach, generator learns how to successfully synthesize diverse images over multiple domains.
The first approach method we used is multiple marginal matching problem as in MWGAN. M3 problem aims to learn mappings to match a source domain DS to multiple target domains TI. Proposed objective function MWGAN utilizes is shown as in the slide. Difference with just Wasserstein distance is that its classification expected error about generated fake image is in the form of weighted sum, with lambda values as weights. Multi-marginal Wasserstein is calculated on two different generators, considered together after, but StarGAN version 2 deals with a single generator. If we look onto GSI zeta G, the generator about style factor SI and parameter zeta G of the generator, we can see style factors injected in generating sequence can make each output of generator associated to each style factors as independent, because convolution filter decreases dimension. So we can assume each style fix generator GSI as independent generators and attach proposed objective function. As assumption of independence ignores much of connection that originally only parameter of generator is equal, we supported such unity in the style reconstruction and cycle consistency that I will introduce later. So adversarial part of expected error is changed to this. The important thing here is dy Wasserstein indicates the mode of a discriminator, which outputs vectorized information output of the image so that the binary classification loss LCLS can be calculated. Therefore, we added the MBAC mode with output vector to calculate LCLS, and LCLS is Wasserstein distance here. Next approach is boundary equilibrium method in BE GAN. Most problems of GANs come from the difference of learning speed that generator is less than discriminator. In ideal equilibrium, expected errors of discriminator and generator are equal. Now we can introduce the hyperparameter gamma in range from 0 to 1, defined as fraction of expected errors. Gamma indicates the learning ratio of G over D, and it must be 1 in ideal situation. With that, feedback control on expected error terms from BE GAN is shown in slide. Here, T denotes training step. This implemented using KT in range from 0 to 1 to control how much emphasis is put on generating error during gradient descent. We initialized K0 as 0. As difference of learning speed will decrease by the training steps goes further, we utilize gamma t instead of gamma to have a value associated with previous training step. So feedback method can slow down the learning speed of discriminator more to be similar to the speed of generator. Now our left work is to recover the connection of generators. One is style reconstruction loss. Compare original style vector and extracted new style vector from fake image of original style. Previous model calculated loss on only first style factor for each learning steps. So we concatenated expected values of errors for each style factors and summed that into weighted form so it can reflect more reversible adaptation on the style factors. Next is cycle consistency error. Compare a real image with recovered image generated with fake image of that real image. For this part, Stargen version 2 also calculated only about the first style factor. We changed the error term to be more mean of all appearing style factors so that support the original equality of generator parameters. To make training time smaller, model executes learning step by backwarding with lower bound of cyclic error. Such lower bound be easily found by triangular inequality, and model takes the normal value when the value of lower bound gets smaller than the epsilon value, which we took as 0.05.
We used the CELOP AHQ dataset that Stargen V2 provided as a training and validation dataset. The CELOP AHQ dataset provides 30,000 face images to male and female CELOPs, and its resolution is 1024 by 1024. However, Stargen V2 used reduced the size of images into 256 by 256 as input data. So we used it for our replication, but we used 128 by 128 images for the training and the validation. During the replication session, we successfully replicate all of the reference papers, Stargen, MWGAN, and Stargen V2. But because we decided to compare Stargen V2 with our model, I briefly explained the replication of Stargen V2 only. We downloaded Stargen V2 from here. The source code of Stargen V2 was well formed, so we didn't need any change during the replication. However, we encountered three major problems. The first one was an environment setting to run Stargen V2. We began with the TensorFlow Docker image to build our own Docker image because it can support GPUs and Python well. Then, due to the PyTorch required by Stargen V2, we added some more required packages into the TensorFlow Docker image. The second one was a parameter setting to compensate for the lack of memory. Because Stargen V2 requires huge GPU memories for the training, so when we ran it first, it immediately ended. So we tested various parameters of Stargen V2, and then we picked up parameters to set the batch size. The batch size was changed from 8 to 4. The last one was a sporadic disconnection of the server. To overcome this situation, we changed the interval of saving checkpoint from 1000 to 2000 epoch. Then, when the connection was broken, we used this parameter to resume our training. After the replication and implementation, we began to train our model to compare StarGAN V2. From the first experiment, to shorten training time, we trained our model with 128 by 128 images. But as you can see, the result was very terrible. Those results were from the mistake on the code. In the initial implement, we wrote a code like this, but it led to wrong style reconstruction. After the code modification like this, then we began the second experiment. In the second experiment, to early detect wrong training like the first experiment, we checked the result of intermediate validation at 35,000 iterations. But at 35,000 iterations, we thought the image quality was not good, especially a person with a cap like this. So we reviewed the previous result like this. Then we guessed that the imbalance running of the generator and the discriminator affect the result images. The discriminator almost finished the running, but the generator did not. Therefore, to control the running speed, we applied the boundary equilibrium to them. After that, we began the final experiment. As you can see, the result at 35,000 and 100,000 iterations look good. The cap became a bald head or hair, and the glasses became a natural facial expressions. All the training parameters is here. Almost all parameters are the same as StarGAN V2.
We evaluate our model using FID to indicate realism of images and LPIPs to measure diversity of images. Smaller FID and larger LPIPs means better performance. Reference guided indicates that the images were translated with the style extracted from reference images. And latent guided means the images were translated with the style extracted from a random latent code. The pre-trained model that the author of StarGAN V2 provided was trained with 256 resolution images. We then trained StarGAN V2 and our improvement model from scratch with 128 resolution images for comparison. Because of the time limit, I will only mention necessary parts. In case of reference-guided translation, our improved model was worse in FID and better in LPIPs compared to the replication model. In case of latent guided translation, again, our improvement model was worse in FID and better in LPIPs compared to the replication model. To sum up, our improvement model was worse in FID but better in LPIPs. It means that image quality decreased but diversity increased. There are some factors that could have affected performance. Our improved model can be disadvantaged from less tuned hyperparameters. We didn't have enough time to optimize hyperparameters, so they were tuned to best fit the original paper's StarGAN V2 with image resolution of 256. Also, reduced batch size might have hindered optimization of all the models by producing inaccurate gradients. Finally, the natural trade-off between realism and diversity might have affected our improvement model to get worse FID and better LPIPs. It is possible that the weight of diversity-sensitive loss was too strong for our model. See this graph from another study showing that when the diversity term is too strong, while LPIPs keeps getting better, FID starts getting worse. Our model might be also in this condition. In conclusion, our improved model achieved higher LPIPs, which interprets as more diversity, but the images were less realistic in terms of FID compared to the replicated model. Due to the lack of time, we couldn't optimize the hyperparameters for each model. Because of the unfair condition, we cannot clearly tell if the performance difference between models resulted from the model itself or hyperparameters. To distinguish what factors affected performance more clearly and to further improve our model, we need to find hyperparameters that fits our model well and try to balance between image quality and diversity. Thank you.